Hello, Helena. It's Emily McVeigh, Executive Director of the United Way of the Lewis and Clark area. We're here for this week's Partner Spotlight with Catholic Social Services. And Scott, welcome.
Well, thank you. It's great to be back to chat with you again.
Yeah, good to see you again. You've been here for a year now, 2 years?
Yeah, I'm pushing 2 years.
All right.
Pushing 2 years at CSSM. You know.
Yeah, time flies.
Oh, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. But Catholic Social Services is 70 this year.
That's it. That's it.
Happy birthday to Catholic Social
Well,
Services.
thank you very much. It was interesting. I had to look at our charter hanging on the wall outside my office and at the beginning of the year, and I was like, holy cow, it's the 70th year, which is always fun. You know,
Yeah.
We're not doing anything in particularly special, but, well, I guess you could say maybe we are, but there's no party or anything, but it's just really, really neat to be around.
Well, we
for
should have
70
cake
years.
at least sometime.
At some point, you know, maybe I'll do that like right around the end of the year or something like that to
Right.
celebrate a completed 70th year.
Yeah. So what do you think the legacy of Catholic Social Services has been for the last 70 years?
You know, and it's been one of, I want to say, a lot of joy, a lot of love, and a lot of warmth. You know, it's been our main ministry for 70 years has been building families through adoption all across Montana. You know, Helena, I know we've done just recently since I've been here adoptions in Helena, but also in every corner of the state. I mean, I can point out northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. I was making sure I get my directions right there. But you know, it's really we've built families for 70 years, thousands and thousands. I mean, we've got piles upon piles of just adoption records, and it's a really wonderful thing to know that we've had such a part in building the communities all across Montana.
So that's probably its best known service for the history of Catholic Social Services, the adoption program. What is the status of the adoption program or the adoption services?
You know, it's definitely our best known, best known thing we've done, because we've been doing it since day one.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, the program, it's really solid. You know, during COVID we shrank a little bit because things got, just like a lot of people, you know, things got slow, people were distanced, but you know, we have a lot of couples who are open and ready to adopt a child. In particular, you know, most of the adoptions we do are based around infants. So usually those are, of course, very, very young children. But we have social workers traveling the state, and they're meeting with you know, expectant mothers on a regular basis, and continuing to build families, which is a really wonderful thing to know. It hasn't slowed down. It hasn't stopped. You know, just being here to serve those mothers and serve those families is continuing, and it's just a very joyful thing for us to be able to continue doing what we've been doing for so long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been a part of some of those connections when I was working at Florence Crittenton, and it's really an amazing thing to be a part of. And the families that I was a part of maintained connection with the mothers, and so we were part of Christmases together. I would take the girls to their family Christmases, and you know, so they really became part of the family, and they maintained those connections so the girls could watch their children grow up. And you know, it was just, like you said, loving and warmth and hope and all the things. It was just such a cool thing to watch and be a part of. And I mean, you just, like, all the feelings. you can't even explain it unless you're there and
you know,
part of it. It's like,
that's exactly it. And I'm so happy to hear that, because that's the happiest time that I can have, the most joyful time in this organization is when we know a child has been born, the child's healthy, the mother's healthy, and that match has been made with the adoptive couple. And you see that new family, those new connections being formed between, you know, of course, the child and the child's adoptive parents, but also at that point the birth mother, who is in almost all instances staying involved with her child's life all through the entirety of their lives. That way that child is knowing that they were loved and they were put in a family that loves them and their mother loves them, and that's why she made this choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Helena's a small town, so I still see them, and I just kind of see them from afar and go, everything's good. Look how good everything is. And you just kind of go about your day. So yeah, it's great to watch. So Catholic Social Services is statewide, but is there anything specific to Helena that you guys do that just for the Helena community?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Just ours?
just ours, just Helena. You know, we do have it's a diaper bank. You know, if you're familiar, hopefully folks are familiar with diaper banks. But we call it the Baby Boutique. And right now it's based out of the Cathedral of St. Helena. And what that does is we, you know, through the primarily through donations, you know, items being donated to us, but also, you know, we're able to access some grants and write some grants. I know we were supported by the, you know, the Helena Community Foundation, which is really nice, and by the city this year we were the grateful recipients of one of their grants. But what we do is we hand out diapers and clothing to, I mean, there's more than that, of course, but I'll just summarize it with diapers and clothing to families who have children in need, young children in need. And it's really, really a fantastic thing to see the amount of folks who are utilizing the service that exists there. I mean, you never want to see folks having to utilize the service, but knowing that we can be there to support them is, it's really, really a blessing to be able to be there to help those folks through a tough time, you know, to make sure that they're able to take care of their children and ideally as a result of that, being able to be more active and involved folks in our community, because they're having to worry less about providing for their children in a tight time.
Yeah, everything is expensive right now. So
diapers aren't the exception, that's for sure.
Diapers aren't the worst thing right now.
Yep.
About how many families do you think you serve a week in the Baby Boutique?
You know, on average, we're doing 20, I'd like to say 20 to 30, but our exact maximum so far has been 29 in a week. It's where we're at, and you know, it's 29. That's a substantial portion when you look at a community the size of Helena, or you know, of course so a lot of the folks we service they'll also come in from East Helena or out from Clancy, depending on where they live, of course. But that's a pretty substantial portion, I would say, and we've seen a very drastic increase where just a year and a half ago, we were seeing anywhere between 5 and 10 in a week. We're servicing, again, the max so far has been 29, so it's grown pretty substantially over the last year and a half. But again, you know, we're happy to be able to still take care of those folks and be able to help them through that time. Sounds
like everybody else I talked to about the numbers increasing.
Yeah,
so
not
it's
wrong.
Just the way it is right now. It's just everything's expensive, rent is outrageous, and everybody needs a little bit of help. So
that's exactly it.
Yeah. How many diapers did you distribute last year? Do you have a number?
I do have a number.
I can only imagine.
The exact number is really boring, but we could just say it was just shy of 33,000 diapers.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, that's just out of that Baby Boutique there at the Cathedral of St. Helena. Right now, it's in the basement of the cathedral, so right underneath the main portion, the main worship hall. But there's, you know, we might potentially move it across the street to the Chancery Center there, where we could have a bigger room. So hopefully we can service folks even better over there.
I did go there to drop some stuff off, and it does seem like it's full.
It's full. I tell you what, that Baby Boutique is very full.
It's full.
And if you go across the parking lot to the Chancery Center, we actually have a full classroom full of extra donations right now, which is really wonderful. You know, the community does an amazing job supporting us, and we love being the recipient of diaper drives, because we do go through, and particularly, you know, we get a lot of clothing, which is wonderful, but we do go through diapers at just a blistering speed.
Sure. Yeah. I know our church used to do a diaper giveaway, but we stopped because you guys were doing it, and you don't need everybody doing the same thing. So instead, our church just supports your efforts in that. So yeah, hopefully there's still a lot of diapers coming your way for that. But that's one of those things where it's like, let's do something else and let them do what they do really well. But yeah, hope, you know, getting all those diapers to you guys, that must take a ton of space and effort.
It does. We have volunteers dedicated simply to receiving the diapers and separating them into their own distributable bags from the boxes. So that's their whole job. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing.
That's a whole volunteer gig.
That it is.
Diaper distributor.
just distributing, yep.
That's good stuff. So what else is Catholic Social Services doing these days?
You know, in addition to the Baby Boutique and our adoption services, we're also helping in a limited capacity with some disaster relief stuff across the state. You know, we have the opportunity, as being part of a national agency, to access some grants to help folks for some very specific disaster relief needs, like the flooding last year. and down in south central Montana. And this year we were able to help out in Hardin a little bit, which was nice. So not local to Helena, what we've been doing, but it's been helping Montanans. But really the big thing that's coming up, and we're hoping to launch here within the next month or month and a half, is we're hoping to launch a mental health, behavioral health program. Really aimed at helping folks both in Helena and across Montana, since we do have that reach into both Catholic dioceses.
Yeah, we talked about that last time you were here, was just looking into getting that started. So tell us about how that's going to kick off, because that is a huge need across the state of Montana, is more mental health services.
You know, it really is. It really is. And there's so many highly trained, high care, folks who care, and they provide these services in Montana, but it's just we're so underserved still. They're doing the absolute best they can. They're working hard, but we need more people and we need more services, especially in our rural communities. I mean, our urban centers, Helena, and other cities do need that help, but our rural communities really are feeling the hurt as far as not having great access. But right now we're actively interviewing, which is a very exciting thing. As of early October, we're actively interviewing a couple candidates to hopefully come in and be our first licensed therapist. And that program is going to aim at providing both in-person and telehealth therapy, both wherever our therapist lives and, of course, across Montana. So we'll be open to seeing people regardless of their denomination or their belief systems or whatever. We're here to help everyone as a services agency. But in addition, this person is also going to work on giving and providing free educational mental health sessions across Montana. So they're going to go in and try to equip members of communities with the skills necessary to help their neighbors who might be, suffering an anxiety attack or, extreme grief or something along those lines, to be able to help them through that period that they're having and get them into a licensed professional to help them with their next steps. Similar to helping someone with the Heimlich maneuver if they're choking and then getting them to a doctor. That's part of our goal is to be able to equip communities who are underserved with the ability to move to a licensed professional at that point.
A little bit like QPR for mental health,
right?
Like the suicide prevention work, but for mental health.
Right, exactly.
I'm sure there's a title for that.
It's called mental health first aid.
There you go.
Is what I've heard it referred to.
I knew there's something. Yeah.
But whenever I say first aid, it always seems to get confused with your traditional physical first aid.
Sure.
So yeah, but no, it's a good program, and we're looking forward to being able to bring someone on to help us with that, and then provide therapy as well.
Absolutely needed, Those smaller, like the non-big cities of Helena type places,
Right.
If COVID did one favor for us, it was telehealth. I will say,
it's true.
As weird as it is to say, it helped us to get telehealth into all those little communities around the state, so people have access to mental health and behavioral health services. So
yeah, you're correct.
It's one of those.
We're a very wide and very diverse state, even as small as our population is. So having access to quality health care, especially, even with outside of your physical health care, with your behavioral health and your mental health, is going to be something that's, it's vital. It's vital. And that's something we learned through COVID, is it's very important. And thankfully, we're seeing that the old stigma of, well, I need to go see a counselor or I need to see a therapist. We're seeing that stigma slowly go away, which I think is a very healthy thing. Because just like if you had any other ailment, if you had something going on, it can be very debilitating. So it's a very good thing that we're seeing that stigma slowly disappear, and we're very happy to be a part of that.
Well, a brain is a part of your body.
That's true.
And it should be treated just like every other part of your body. We have this conversation a lot. I'm not sure why you treat it differently. You should treat it better, really.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me, but yeah.
But great. Anything else about Catholic Social Services we should cover before we sign off for the day?
Just that we're very, very appreciative to Helena and the local community. We hold a golf tournament every year in July, and it grew substantially this year, and we're very appreciative to all of our sponsors and everyone who golfed in the tournament, because that is the one big fundraiser that we hold during the year. And otherwise, we just accept donations, essentially, is how we support our services throughout the year. So very appreciative of the community. We love being here, and that's why the majority of our staff, the vast majority of our staff, lives here in Helena, and we're very, very pleased to get to serve the community and be a part of what happens here.
All right. How can a person find out more information about where would they find your information?
Oh, well, of course it's on the screen, but no, you can also go to
Right?
no, you can also go to cssmt.org, which is our main website. We keep it up to date with everything we have going on. But also, if you go to Facebook, it's real easy. Just facebook.com, and it's CSSMT. You'll find us right away. You'll see our little logo with it's kind of like a tree with two people holding up as the bark or as the stems. So, so facebook.com/CSSMT. And that's where we keep everything up to date with what we have going on. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Happy
Appreciate
70th birthday. All right. Thanks, Helena. We'll see you again next week.